We are now in Carlsbad, California for the United Osage of Southern California. We've been coming here as a people since right around World War II, I believe. By the time I started coming out here, I was running for assistant chief of the Osage tribe in 1989. And the organization, which has been here for decades, met up at Newport Beach, up the coast a ways. And Galen Clavier, who passed away last year. Well, what Galen and other Osages out here had told me is their people left the Reign of Terror and went to different areas away from the Osage Reservation. And this is one of them. And then during the Great Depression in the 1930s, oil went down to next to nothing, jobs were non-existent. A lot of the Osages followed their relatives that were in the San Diego, Los Angeles area primarily. There are Osage in Northern California, but this organization has always been the largest of those communities away from the homeland of the Osage. So they've been here and been very active and do participate. They want to know more about what's going on back home. In-person interaction is no substitution for anything, but twice a year this organization would like some interaction. And they're Osage, and we try to keep up with them.
So I came on board with the Osage Nation in 2014, so I've been here for 10 years. When I got here, the nation had one senior housing development, which was here in Pawhuska, up on the north end of campus. It had approximately 20 units, so it was able to house around 40 elders or so. We have built and developed Fairfax Senior Housing. It's on approximately 15 acres on the west side of Fairfax, and that contains 20 homes. And we're currently in construction of approximately the same size of development on 44 acres down in Hominy. So Hominy will be getting about 20 units of senior housing that should be completed by summer. We are the only organization in Osage County that provides senior housing. No one else, just the nation. Part of the idea was to bring some elders home back to Osage County. So that's one of the ideas, is we can get folks to move back here. And we've got quite a few people, as a matter of fact, that did come home. There is currently a plan for a new judicial building with the McGirt decision kind of in mind. How are we going to react if McGirt does come here and we're more responsible for enforcing the law, jailing folks, et cetera. So there's approximately a $7 million judicial building going in here on campus that will house our trial courts, our civil courts, and our Supreme Court. And we've just really broke ground on it a couple of weeks ago, but work is proceeding on that as we speak. Currently, the Osage Nation health system, we're building several facilities that will fall under that system. There is new 63,000 square foot clinic going to go in downtown Pawhuska. It sits on about 15 acres of property. I believe it's got 26 patient rooms, so you can put 26 folks in a room at a time as the providers move around and perform examinations, et cetera. It's going to have optometry, dental, the whole 9 yards. So it's quite a huge endeavor. This is the only Indian clinic in Osage County, currently west of town, kind of isolated for a reason. A primary residential treatment facility that will be able to house adult males, adult females, adolescent males and females. It's quite a large complex. Drugs and alcohol are a major issue in the United States, and they're even a bigger issue in the Native communities, and especially in Osage County, because there's not a lot to do, but there's a lot of drugs and alcohol around. So, we want to treat those folks and at least give them a fighting chance. Without the nation and the support of the nation, none of these facilities would be accessible. Unless you go to Tulsa or Bartlesville, farther outside of where it is our folks live. We put more money into the county than anybody. We're the largest employer, so without the nation, Osage County would be way worse off than it is right now. So, since Chief Standing Bear became the chief in 2014, we have restored the roundhouse in Hominy. We have built a new community building and arbor in Hominy. We've built a new community building and arbor in Fairfax. We've built a massive community building in Pawhuska, and we've redone all 3 districts' chapels. The crazy thing is we've discovered that, even though these things are brand new, they're already too small. We planned them larger than, we thought we would need them, and all of a sudden we look out there and it's like, oh no, it's already too small. So that just shows you how fast and how vast we're growing. So,
all of these departments are important to Chief Standing Bear, but education, language, and culture, all of that, in a nutshell, is very, very important to him, and it was part of his platform to continue on with our, language and culture, and also enhancing our education for our children and our young children. Chief Standing Bear started the Pawhuska School whenever he come aboard about 10 years ago, and so now it's kindergarten through 8th grade. The education department, they're also doing an outstanding job. They do all they can to help further their education, our Osage children, launching another new program through the technology scholarship process. Not only do you get monies for tuition, but now you get a stipend for housing. So they've really, stepped up their game. Around 2019, that's when we went into the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, and Chief Standing Bear said that you all are going to be an essential, just like emergency response or anything like that. We're going to continue to teach the language because we have to keep it going, because we don't want anybody to forget the language. And so we took off from there, and we started had a meeting with the ARPA team and started coming up with ideas on technology that we thought that we could utilize and put together to help enhance the language program. We come up with the book. They finished the Coyote and the Bear book that's very high tech. I don't even know if there's any other tribe in the United States that has what we have, that you're able to to use your phone digitally, and it will read back to you in Osage once you put the application on your phone. And having the keyboards on our phones has just been something that has really enhanced the learning process for our young people, because we all know that technology, and that's what they know. That's all they know. And having the orthography on our telephones and letting them use that for conversational Osage and talking to each other on the phones has really, really advanced the language too as well. We can reach out throughout the United States and parts unknown for people that want to take classes on Zoom. We have 21 classes, so there's many classes and times that a person can take a class. We made it convenient for people that live on the West Coast and the East Coast. We have teachers that wait until, it's 8 o'clock here in the evening, but it's 6 o'clock in California. And so they've provided that time slots for people to be able to take the classes. And there's 21 community classes. We're teaching in 5 high schools that are, our teachers are all state certified, and they are now all world language credits that extend over into college. And we also are now teaching in 1 elementary and remodeling the visitor center, which is going to be something that's really going to be really nice. It's they'll have like a coffee shop where you can come in and have coffee or have a soda and sit down and use your iPad and enjoy yourself. And they also have now built a nice patio on the west side of the building. You're able to go outside and visit and sit around and enjoy the visitor center. They're still having all their things to be able to buy there, arts, and jewelry and all the different things that they've always had, but they've added a lot of new features to the visitor center. And the Osage Early Learning Academy is a school where they take in children from 6 weeks old to 12 years old, and so that enables the parents to be able to send their children to a place where they can where they know their children are safe in a safe atmosphere and safe environment. We have 4 sites, Skytook, Pawhuska, Hominy, and Fairfax. And Pawhuska is getting ready to get a new facility, which will be open, I believe, in May of this year, 2024. They're gonna open up the new facility. It's a 19,000 square feet new facility. It's a state of the art. It's going to be really nice for our community here in Pawhuska, and it's open, and it's going to also increase our enrollment. We have people that's on a waiting list to try to get into the school, and this is going to enable, all of our people to be able to have a place to send their children from 6 weeks old to 12 years old.
Through the vision of Chief Standing Bear, we were able to put together our food sovereignty programs and really start a true food sovereignty foundation through Harvest Land and Butcher House. So we immediately started with Butcher House. We have the Osage Nation Ranch west of Pawhuska. So that was the main goal for that at Butcher House, was to be able to process our own animals for our people. Both individuals that wanted to get their animals processed, and then just a source of meat through the retail side of things. And so that facility is USDA inspected, so that was important for us to do as we developed that facility. And then at Harvest Land, we focused a lot more on the indoor farming side of things. So less outdoor farming, though we still do that. But we wanted indoor farming so we could produce things year-round. And so that includes a 44,000 square foot programs building, which includes a commercial aquaponics system, a 40,000 square foot greenhouse, and then we also put together an orchard with culturally significant species, which includes a variety of things like persimmons, pawpaws, and then nuts. The food sovereignty systems really laid an important foundation for the Osage Nation. So it's a way to not only assert our sovereignty as the Osage Nation and as an Osage people, but it's a way to provide food to our people. That's been really important for Chief Standing Bear, and then for myself as well, that we don't get into a situation like we did through COVID-19. We'll always be able to support our people with healthy food. But then the other side of that is how important it is to bring in like the culture and the language. And so really collectively, it's a huge assertion of sovereignty, because not only are we providing food, we're providing culturally significant food that furthers our cultural events and really kind of gets our people back to some of those historical foods that were significant and that have kind of been lost over time. It's hard to find, facilities to do the things that we need as an Osage people, such as cutting our bison and our beef a certain way for our events, or if there's a specific type of squash that we want for our cultural dinners, we can provide that. And so it's really feeding our people, but really bringing in the culture side of it and the language.
Like I said, I've been coming out here since 1989, and there's some lifelong friendships here. So many of our people that are in charge of these programs need to experience one-on-one who these folks are, who their family is, where they came from that role in 1906. How are we all related? What's important to them here? We need to make more space for them emotionally, because a lot of these families have not been back for 2 or 3 generations. We want to rebuild our communities. We want to have Osage with each other, living together, working together, being a tribe. And the only way you can do that is to live as a community. And you cannot live as a virtual tribe. We have access to all this technology and we'll use it. We're getting more internet back home, but we got police protection, we got housing we're working on that's affordable. We are education, working on that, building a new clinic. So we've got to prepare this infrastructure and let the future generations fill it in a Osage way. And so that includes our language, our culture, our being at dinners, the gossip we have with each other, the arguments and debates we may have with each other, living together as a family, a large family, because we're all descended from 2,229 people. All 25,000 Osages today are descended from that small group. So we are one people. Too many of our younger people moving away still, way too many, and not coming back. That's a primary purpose, is to make it where this career person can work as easily from the Osage as they could from Houston, Texas, and a lot better lifestyle. But we're working real hard on that.